solicitor and seek legal advice, something she
What's
intends
what?
to do. Another family we have spoken to also had a meeting, saying they were told they would have grounds for a medical negligence claim. ITV News has spoken to 3 families who have had their follow-up appointments. Some have received answers, but some, they say, have been met with a lack of clarity, being told that doctors think their child is okay, but they just don't know.
That's you. Cough, big cough.
Nicola Warhausen from Little Baxter said Leah met the store just after her son Oliver was born. His feet were turning outwards and Nicola sought help. In letters from the store to the family seen by ITV News, Oliver's original diagnosis was calcaneal valgus foot, a common condition in newborns where the foot is turned upwards and outwards, but that diagnosis changed to vertical talus when reviewed at Chelsea and Westminster. This store didn't treat Oliver further, and Nicola claims that the surgeon misdiagnosed her son. Nicola wrote to the hospital over several months to raise her concerns. Letters from the hospital to Nicola dispute Nicola's claims that the surgeon misdiagnosed Oliver, saying that the store explained her son's diagnosis on several occasions and had identified vertical talus as a likely diagnosis. Oliver was not one of the 9 cases reviewed last year. There is currently no evidence that anything went wrong in his case, and while her complaints were not upheld, the hospital did apologise for her experience at Addenbrooke's.
If one professional has said, you know, this is what he has, okay, I'm not 100% happy with it. But if the second says exactly the same as that first person, I would have been happy. I would have stepped back. But when a second person is saying something different to the original person, I still wasn't happy.
Nicola, like so many other parents, has a meeting at Addenbrooke's later this month, and like Lynn, she wants answers.
Yeah, very worrying for them. And Matthew Hudson is at Addenbrooke's this evening. Yet more developments in this story, Matt.
Indeed, over 30 years, I've reported many dozens of times about Addenbrooke's, everything from medical breakthroughs to the seemingly endless winter crisis every year, but I don't think I've ever seen a story that has developed like this. It was actually in February that the hospital told us and the world that a surgeon in his paediatric obstetrics department had been suspended because of concerns about the quality of their work in 9 children's cases. Now 800 of Coldeep Store's cases are being reviewed, with more anxious parents coming forward with concerns. Families that we've spoken to have all been invited to meetings at the hospital, and in some cases at least have been advised to seek legal advice. This is a developing story, which is developing into a major problem for Addenbrooke's. Now, Coldeep Store didn't respond to a request for a comment from us, but she has already said she always strives to provide the highest standards of care, and that she is cooperating with the investigation. For its part, Addenbrooke's told us, we take this matter extremely seriously, and we reiterate our unreserved apologies to the children and their families whose care was below the standard they should have received. Our priority is for the answers that we know patients and families want.
Matthew, thank you very much.
Sporting Days news now. An inmate at a high-security prison in Cambridgeshire has been arrested on suspicion of murdering a convicted killer. John Mansfield, who was jailed for life in 2007 for the murder of his 63-year-old neighbour, Anne Alfonso, was found dead at HMP Whitemore near March on Sunday. A 44-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of his murder at the prison.
A High Court judge has ruled the libel claim against former West Suffolk MP Matt Hancock can go to trial. The ex-Health Secretary is being sued by fellow former Conservative Andrew Bridgen over a post on X in which Mr Hancock allegedly accused Mr Bridgen of anti-Semitism. Mr Hancock hadn't tried to get the case thrown out.
Tommy Robinson will find out this week whether an appeal against his 18-month prison sentence has been successful.